Good evening, everybody. Institute Remnant back here again with another update to my sanctuary capital city. I believe this is episode 7. And my apologies for not being able to update you all sooner. I had a medical emergency with my dog, and she had to go in for a good couple days. And I didn't feel right filming until after she was fully recovered. So there's that. And then I also ran into a little bit of a hiccup filming my first version of this where it wasn't able to upload. So this is the second version. But that being said, now that she's recovered, everything's better. Let's get into what I've been doing. So basically what I've been up to is, for those who haven't been here for the previous videos, is I've been building all of these residentials and clinics and cafeteria buildings. And what I'm doing right now, since all the buildings are actually built, the structures are fully covered and everything, is I'm filling everything in with the small little details like food, water, things that make the settlement look more lived in. So with that being said, let's take a quick tour. First, let's, jump ahead in time a little bit. Oh, I'm in the one chair that doesn't let me wait. Just so that all of my settlers are where they're supposed to be. Okay. And then let's go back and do it from where we usually do. I always like to open up my videos from right here, but I got really sick of the thumbnail being the same exact thing all the time. Just get a good view. And approaching. Heading into the security clinic and screening building, which is also the armory and contraband. We have a makeshift shop, which I've been trying my best to get supplies for and stock up. As you can see, these are the things that I need now. So I just need to go a little bit hunting for these particular things.
So many humans, not many super mutants. Humans all look funny.
And heading up to the clinic.
So much walking. Want to do more fighting.
Some very bad clipping.
World is bigger than strong new. Walk and talk boring. Humans should fight more.
And heading to the armory.
Someday, super mutants kill everything. So many humans, not many super mutants.
And one of the things that I've been doing is trying to add more details. So what I will be doing is making more mini nukes and more Nuka nukes to put on that little table just to add more details to make it look more filled in. I've been trying to add more stuff to add to these shelves. A lot of money, obviously, but finding whatever interesting junk I can.
Strong hope we find milk of human kindness soon. Humans all look funny.
But this is the first. Oh, that was a bad clip. This is the first building. Heading across the street right now. We will be going into the main cafeteria building. But first, here's my little Institute market where I was able to clip in the shops through the overseer's window and somehow even clip them itself through the little garage, like the partitioned garage, like that was the pre-war structure of Sanctuary. And I'm very happy with that effect because I didn't want this space completely wasted and not usable. But heading up again into the cafeteria building. I don't have any vendors here right now because originally they were Kate and I believe Curie, and I didn't want them wasted in this building. And that fell over somehow, but we will fix that later. But as you can see, Nuka-Cola is on every table. I'm probably going to add another Nuka-Cola machine right here later. And this one obviously does have the Nuka-Cola machine, but I do not like this empty space. And the same with the previous one down below. So if you guys have any tips or advice or, on what I could possibly fill this in with that would be on theme with a cafeteria, I'd very much like to know. And this is going to be like my little quantum lounge. I'm eventually going to change the colors to blue if I can of the lights, but right now I'm just basically, I need to get a couple Nuka Quantums, which I think I have right here. I'm just not sure if I can actually pick them up in build mode and put them on the table. Oh, I can. Okay. So there's that one. This one. And this one. Oh, and I think that's all of them. Perfect. So we're done. But I want something, again, in the middle. Something to draw attention to the middle. I don't know what I could do. If you guys have any tips or any advice, please comment below. I would really appreciate that. But heading down out of the cafeteria building, across the street again, we are going to head towards, I believe, the common building, which is just for sitting, relaxing, and entertainment. It's the only one unlabeled. I believe I will label it as I have all the others. And again, I also, not sure if I made this in my last video, but I added these little caravan stations so that all of the main traders had a place to come in and sit up shop. I have another one all the way over here in the beginning of my settlement, or the entrance, I should say. Some little cafeteria tables and a little trading post and some chairs for the security and main trader. And I had this glitch where I had Takashi following me because I accidentally hacked him. So I built this for him, and he just decided not to stay. So I'm thinking of just having a specific vendor there and possibly pillar glitching the main restaurant or something through one of these tables over here so that I can have another vendor that looks like they're constantly doing something, so that this isn't a wasted space. But going back around this little cul-de-sac, we are going to head back to the common building. And the first floor is just a little sitting room and common area. With a small little museum to some sports and all of the most of the things from the Jamaica Plain treasury. And then heading up, we go to the arcade, where I have more of the stuff from the Jamaica Plain stuff museum, but also more baseball stuff, as well as some typical arcade games, the slot machines, and the Nuka-Cola games as well, or the Nuka World games, I should say. Nuka-Cola, what am I talking about? As well as some cash over here and a token dispenser. I also wanted to go into detail and get the whackers, the commie whackers for the machine, because it just surprised me that they didn't come with it when you built it. So that's basically what I've been, you see what I mean? I've been trying to get the small itty bitty details. And heading straight over down the street, we're heading to the security building, which I have added a couple more details to. I'm looking for more specific things that go more themed for each room, so when I see them out in the world, when I'm hunting it, I do it, I grab them. Like, as you can see, I'm trying to fill these shelves with more contraband from taken prisoners, make this place look more active, with an active security system, more lived-in break space. Heading up to the second floor, we go to the actual prison itself, which I will admit I want more tips on stuff to do in here. All I basically did was make it a little taunting looking. I do not like it right now. I want more tips on what I could do. I very much need advice because I'm not happy with this at all. I do not like empty spaces. So if you guys have any tips, please, please, please comment below, as I will most likely implement them. No advice is bad advice, unless it's absolutely unhinged and unfeasible. And by unfeasible, I mean completely impossible to do. I don't know why I just spent all that time closing doors. But heading directly across the street, we're going to hit Residential 1. And of course, a fog decides to hit as soon as I do this tour. But we are going to go in anyway. Pop open your Nuka-Cola Quantum packs. It's going to be a good one. Or I should say victory packs. Here we are in the common area of the main residential building. We have a workout station over here, and a sitting area and cooking and coffee station. Heading up to the second floor, we have the first residential wing, which is Public North. A play on public occurrences, because it's centered in Diamond City. Sanctuary is the northmost settlement, so I figured it only made sense to call it Public North. And since this is Piper's residence, I tried my best to make it look as accurate to what it would be for her, as well as all of the other companions that I have. I try to get it down to the as much as the detail as like the lit cigarette on the ashtray. Like, that's my goal. I want it that much in that much detail. So why this is out of it, it really bothers me. There we go, perfect. So I have all of her articles, I believe. I may be missing one or two, but I'm trying my hardest to make it look as accurate as it could be to what she would actually have. And here we have Hancock, which I made the good neighbor representative to the Institute. And of course, I tried my best to take reference from his actual home, which was in the mayor's, I believe, the mayor or city hall of Good Neighbor. And it was just littered with random food and drugs and drinks. So basically, what I did was I copied that and I pushed it to the max level. I put it everywhere. So there's just random drugs and drinks just scattered around. But as usual, if you guys have any tips on anything more I could do, I don't use Hancock as my real main companion. He's one of my top three, I think. But I mostly used Nick Valentine and who else did I use? Curie and Ada, because they were bound to me somehow, and Dogmeat. But X88 is my one of my favorites. I wish there was more to him than just like the two little Institute quests or one Institute quest that he had. But there's that. But I just enjoy him so much. And then this is my quarters, which is the Commonwealth Director. And this is my little Institute office where I can make reports. I have little components as well, just to add to the lore. Cameras to watch the settlement, population control. Oop, I accidentally took something. But heading out of main residential 1, we head to 2. And from here, I went the wrong way. From here, there won't be much commentary. There may be, just to add what I've been adding to each room, but I'm going to do my best. I do not script my stuff as well. All of this stuff is completely improvised on the spot.
Some more target practice.
So heading up, we enter the first residential room. And as you see, the stuff I've been adding is basically just the stuff like this. Toasters, coffee, food supplies, drinks, anything that can be found in a kitchen I'm trying to put in here. As well as just little lived-in details like such as that. So basically, that's what I've been doing with each of these rooms to my best ability. Heading up to the second floor, I believe we have more of the same, just a more open, because this was when I was practicing with the layouts for the rooms. This one was obviously more of an open complex. Oh yeah, by the way, I somehow was able to lose the cyber dog. I named him K900, I believe, and completely just lost him because I did not assign him to a settlement or choose him as a follower. I just wanted to use the bug where I could have him and multiple other person as a follower, but
Sorry.
that ended up costing me because I told him to wait somewhere in one of these buildings. Cannot find him anywhere for the life of me. And basically, he just bugged out of my game. So I lost my dog. So heading across the street, we go to Father's Bot Shop, where I built a robot station, and sadly also have one of these Brahmin, I believe it's actually Trash Can Carla's Brahmin, glitched into my building because I killed it not on accident. I was just frustrated that it was in there and I didn't think ahead of time the consequences. But I have a little shop here as well, mostly filled with components from the Institute. And these are all of the stuff I use to stock up and populate all of the, as I said, the little details for each apartment. So there, as you can see, I like to stock up so I have stuff to do when I come in, and I don't immediately have to go hunting for these little stuff. But going into residential 4, we will go back around the street into that building
Folks want to make life hard for people.
after this.
I'm not willing to stand.
And as you can see, once again, I was practicing different methods and concepts because I was already getting bored with it. So as you can see, there's still plenty of stuff I have to do. Like, I want everything to have almost the same amount of stuff. But I think I'm doing my best to make it look as lived in as possible. Obviously, this one is missing some toothpaste and soap and stuff like that, possibly even a bucket, a sweeper, and a mop. But that's what I'm saying is, like, I want every room to have the same standard of detail a lot. But I was also able to add a cooking station into the vault or into the building by clipping it through the Vault-Tec buildings. I don't know how I was able to do it, but I was able to. So now there is an actual cooking station functionably in each room. That has a kitchen, I should say.
The Commonwealth.
And heading back down, we are going across the street back to the bot shop. to Residential 3. Hello, Carla. And as again, I was playing with the layout of the room as well with this because I was getting very, very bored. And heading up to the second floor. I believe this is the concept I ended up sticking with mostly, where I would make a narrow hallway for people to walk through so that each room had their own privacy almost. And heading into the last bedroom of the building. And now heading down, we are going to go to Residential 5.
You just say the word if you want to take a little.
Which is, again, one of the other main vault buildings. Or I should say residential buildings.
I don't ask for much. Just need a full bottle and some bones to break.
Don't know what's more so back.
And again, we have a little common area with a workout station. Sitting station as well, sitting room. And a coffee station and workbench. Or cooking workbench. Heading up, this is one of the new details that I added, was more detail, so I know who was in each room. And instead of it being the Vault-Tec representative, he is now the Institute Ghoul representative for the Commonwealth. So now his life has a purpose. He's no longer just waddling around. And I will say he is living it up, as are all the other residents here. But as you see, it's what I've been doing with the little teeny tiny details. Damn it. Well, I tried. And look, he's actually here.
Since we talked, I'm feeling swell. Look at the two of us here in Sanctuary.
But heading up, we go to the second main room, which is Sturgis, who I made the head of engineering. And one of the things I've been trying to do is equip all of the settlers with Institute jumpers or division coats to make them more on theme with what I'm doing. And because he's the head of engineering, I added a bunch of random miscellaneous tools everywhere. Just gonna move that over there so that the next time I load this, it doesn't go jumping all over the place. Ooh, speaking of jumping all over the place, I did it to myself. But this is his main room.
You're tuned to the Commonwealth's only respite from...
And you see what I mean, like, I'm trying to get it down to the details of, like, the spoons and forks and plates on the table, down to the pepper and salt shakers.
Does
Heading up to the third and last room of the building is Preston Garvey, who I made the main Minutemen representative. As I cannot act as general and the main director of the Institute at the same time, he will be the main representative for the interests of the Minutemen. Which I think is fair enough, considering he sends us all on these frickin' quests all the time, every time we see him. And of course, I have a biometric scanner in front of his entryway to his room, as well as the first Deathclaw that we killed together. Mostly because I know he does not like synths, but nevertheless, it is there. Even though he works for the Institute now.
Can't afford to let your guard down, no matter how quiet things seem.
And heading out of Residential 5, we will move to, I believe, Residential 6. Which was just another building for the common settler. Correct. That doesn't sound particularly healthy. But heading in, we see I was experimenting more with how I would build each room, depending on the build. I believe this was the test for McCready, actually.
Whiskey's running low.
Like the test concept.
And soon.
And as you can see, these ones are not as filled in. I'm trying my best to bulk up on more supplies to come in so that when I do a clean swoop, all I have to do is check each building to see what has what, so that I don't have to go hunting each time. Nope, I am not interested.
Not yet. Just stay put for now.
Right.
He is obviously not going to be staying here. I'm going to be moving all the beds of where the settlers are actually sleeping and move them into their designated rooms, which I have been doing, as you can see. Heading up to the second floor. I also tried to fill all the hallways with art so that they weren't completely boring, minus these ones because I couldn't build past where the lights are right here.
Got a chill in my bones that won't come out. Too many nights out sleeping in the fog.
But yeah, as you can see, I'm practically almost done. So what I'm going to do, my plan is right now, is to bulk up on all of these supplies so that I don't have to keep going hunting for them. And then once I'm done decorating these, I'll have them all for the last 3 and final buildings that I have to decorate, so that it is not nearly as much of a gap in posting. Because I like to post significant progress. I don't just like to post, oh, I put a toothbrush down here. No, I like to post significant stuff. Like significant change, which I think I've done. So moving on into Residential 7, which is this building right here. These ones are much smaller because of the space that I had to work with. So they are just 3 units, or 2 units, I believe, in here. And I believe this was actually the first concept for what I would do for Preston. But obviously some of that stuff changed. Or maybe this was even Mama Murphy. I'm not sure. But it was the basic concept that I ended up switching over to the main Preston Garvey apartment. That is going to be a nightmare to decorate. And heading up into the second room, we have a little office area. At least the bathroom is big enough for me to actually populate with items. As you can see, there's much more I need to do, grabbing silverware plates and such for these small little details is what I'm talking about. But heading back down, we are going to hit the main power reactor for the settlement, which is not one but two Vault-Tec reactors, as well as, I believe, 3 fusion reactors. Nope, 4, 5 fusion reactors. Wow. Yeah, a lot of power. Oop, wrong button. I don't know why I'm trying to close the doors. Force of habit, I guess. Heading up to the second reactor. And basically what I did was, before, all of these rooms were empty besides the reactor and lights, and I did not like that at all. So what I did was I added the Vault-Tec computer components that were in the miscellaneous section and just scattered them along to make it look like this room had actual functionality, as well as backup, materials for in case anything got in disrepair. So heading down, we are going to be hitting Residential 8, which is, I believe, the final building that I actually decorated. I actually did these other ones prior and did the actual main ones. The structures that I had to build myself that weren't above a pre-existing war structure, I did these last because I knew these were going to be for designated characters. So heading inside, I added a little coffee station and cooking station as well. More cleaning supplies because I want things to look, as I said, lived in. A little sitting area, and this is where I said I'm experimenting. I'm adding now a little sitting area for eating, as well as a VIM pop machine and a Nuka-Cola machine with actual soda inside. I am going to be getting some VIM from my supplies and stocking it in here as well. But heading up, we hit Nick Valentine, and I completely moved the Valentine Detective Agency up here to Sanctuary. Or I added a little area for his files on completed or uncompleted cases. I have a little detective office for him, with the details, as I said, down to the lit cigarette in the ashtray, and the missing and current and open files. I tried my best to make it look like how a real detective office would look, as well as the holotapes from his cases and some of the Eddie Winter stuff as well. His living area is fairly simple. I do figure synths do eat, so they have an area to eat as well as clean themselves. But they do not, I believe, use the bathroom, I believe. So instead of a bathroom, he has a little trophy area for his completed cases. And a little sleeping area. Heading up to the second room, we have Deputy Mayor McCready. I made him Deputy Mayor because I believe in Fallout 3 he was, I believe, a mayor of Little Lamplight, is it called? I believe so. And I put these little things as a tribute to how many years I believe he served in canon as the child mayor of Little Lamplight. But that's what I'm saying. I tried my best to make it look as honest to what it would be. As well as having a bunch of hidden weapons all over the place. As you can see, there's a shotgun or something over there. There's a ripper in the bathroom in case someone tries to ambush him. Another one right there. And a pistol right above his bed. And heading up to the third one and final one of this building is Mama Murphy's, who I basically made a psychic service. And for this room, I also took inspiration from multiple pieces of media, but also mainly her main actual apartment you can find in Ruin in the game. So I took some of the stuff from the actual apartment and moved it here, and as well as gave it the full-on overhaul for the standard of what I want each room to look like. Added her key drugs of choice. I'm going to add more over here. But in this case, there are her little drugs of choice that she loves so much, as well as her little area that had some of the other items in her apartment, such as the light, tea kettle. These were actually from her apartment. And the pictures of the cats. The cats I knew were all over her apartment, so I tried my best to get them as much as possible. But heading down out of residential, I believe 8, we are going to hit what I think is residential 9, which I believe is the last building that I have furnished. So the last 3 buildings are the last 3 towers. And of course, I also made little streets through, little walkways through all of this to get through to the main road a lot easier from beginning to end of the settlement. But heading into 9, you have another little living room, bathroom, and kitchen.
For years now, you have suspected that the Institute still exists, that we are among you. It's true, but it's not the whole truth. We are here, and we are in control. Our superior technology represents the future of the Commonwealth.
As you can see, this one got more detail because I hit this one up recently with supplies. But what I plan to do is do a clean sweep through all of them with fresh supplies.
We have no desire to interfere in the unimportant details of your personal freedoms. We simply insist that you do not interfere with Institute operations. To do so would result in tragedy for all involved. Rest easy. Know that the future is in safe hands.
And heading out of this building is the last real furnished building that I did. There is only really one other thing to update everybody on, which is the farms. I moved all of the farms to behind... Ooh, I am in a loop here. To behind all of these main residential buildings back here on this side of the street. So we will be taking a look at that really quick. And I have labeled them all. So this is the little melon farm. Perhaps I'll even install a lamp over here so that it's not so dark at night. Here we have our little carrot farm. And I'm going to be planting more as well, just because I don't like how little there is. And here is our gourd farm, which there is quite a significant amount of. As well as potatoes. I'm going to get more of these as well. I'm just not happy with how much we have.
Are terrified of coursers. They should be.
Heading back towards the gate towards Vault 111. We're going to go behind this building to where I believe is our main corn farm, which I had planned to expand as well. But other than that, that is it for this video. As usual, if you guys liked what you saw, please like and subscribe, as it does help my channel grow and with the algorithm on YouTube. And I would greatly appreciate it if it inspired you, or if you learned something new, or got something out of this video. But with that, I would like to say, everybody, have a good night. And I will see you hopefully for the last video, which I hope to be episode 8. Because I do not want to stretch this for 10 videos. But with that said, have a good day, everybody. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.